Good morning once again. So today I'm going to be monitoring everything so that my camera does not so I'm going to be joining with my tab because the two lives I did a couple of days ago, along the line it will stop recording and I was not aware. So I'll be monitoring it from here now. And before I go on, good morning everyone. How are you doing today? How's work? How's the weekend going for you? So we're very fine over here. So we're going to be making the style that you can see on the thumbnail, and it's pretty easy. It's actually a short bubble, sort of, if you're to call it that, but the only difference between that and the regular bubble or kaftan is that the regular bubble or kaftan is bigger. You have to make it so bigger than the normal body measurements. But for this one, it's a little fitted, not so big, not so fitted. So we're going to be cutting that, and it is pretty easy. So if you stick with me on this life, you're going to also learn how to cut it from scratch by yourself. Okay. So without wasting time, first reason, because my phone currently, or I noticed recently that my phone overheats a lot. So when I use it for a period of time, it starts to overheat. So I'm going to be pairing these two fabrics. So that's for this style that we want to create. I'm going to be pairing this and this. I have the measurement here. The measurement that I would use. Using length 40, so this is going to be the body, this is going to be the line in the middle and on the sleeve. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to set this aside for now. So I have 2 yards here. I have 2 yards of this fabric here, this green fabric. So what I'm going to be making use of today is this 2 yards. Okay. So I'll turn it to the wrong side. I would make sure that this paper part goes to the back. Or it really doesn't matter because I can trim it away. Okay. So you fold them together. So I'm going to show you 2 ways you can achieve this style. Just 2 ways. So whichever way you plan to, it will be okay. So fold it into 2. So I don't know how I am going to do this, but seeing that my phone overheats most of the time now, so I can just, my data can be on for a while and the phone becomes very hot. So because of that, I might, I'm not sure, but if I start to notice the overheating, I might have to just pause the video or pause the live stream and maybe give it a little more time and continue, because I noticed from the other videos I posted a few days ago that at some point in the video it became very blurry and I could hardly see what I was doing in the video. and I noticed that it was at that point that the phone was warning me of overheating. So once it gets to that point, I might just cut it, and after a while continue from there. So I hope you pardon me. I hope you understand. So this edge is not straight, so I'll just straighten it out. Oh my god. Oh, I've got more than I need. Oh my god. But yeah, it will still do what we want, but you have to be careful. So the first thing you do is to fold it into two and then fold it again. So you'd fold it again. Okay, hook it. So I'm going to be attaching a zipper. Okay. Okay. So So first of all, you have to confirm that whatever you folded, that you can get the bigger part of the body. So for me, for this measurement I'm using, the bigger part of the body is the hip. So the hip is 46. So confirm that you have 46, 40, 41, 42, 43, 45, 46. Yes. I have 46 and so this is it. So basically what I need 16 and a half. 16 and a half. 16 and a half. 16 and a half. So this one underneath will be the back. I have two pieces here. So I'm going to trim off the other excess. And then this one on fold is going to be the front. Okay. So the back, we're going to be using a high neck for the back. First of all, let's take the length. So I'm using 40 for the length. Okay. I would want to fold 2 inches. Right, I'll fold 2 inches and then I'll leave out half of an inch to join at the beginning. So I have instead of 42 and a half, I'll make it 43, just in case. 1 and a half, 1 and a half, 1 and a half. So first of all, I'll put this away. So I'm going to use here now as a hemline. I don't know what the phone is saying, but so I'm going to mark my shoulders from here. I'm going to take the shoulder width. So the shoulder width I'm making use of is 18 inches. That is 9. 18 divided by 2 is 9. I'm going to slant it by 1 inch. Just follow me. Then, so I'm going to just then from that slanted point, I'm going to mark. Usually I would use 7 for the armhole length, but I'm going to use 8.5. Sometimes I use 9. I'm going to use 8.5. I want it to be a little free. Then I'll mark the same 9 inches here. So I'll drill it from the beginning to this point. So I'll take the bust here. First of all, watch how I'm going to do everything. So the bust that I'll be working with is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10. This is the bust here. Then take the half cut. The half cut I'm using is 18. I'm making it 18.5 because I'm going to be holding half from here. So this is 18.5. 18.5. So the waist, I will extend it into the zip allowance. The waist I'm making use of is 35. So let's make it 36 for an even figure. Then the hips I'm making use of is 46. So from here, from the half cut or waistline, I'll come down by 5. So from that 5, I'll mark the hip. I'm making use of 46, 40, 14, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. This is 46, right? 46 here. I'll mark the same thing here, 11.5. So first of all, I'm going to link the first measurement, which is the fitted one. I'm going to mark that. So I said I was going to show you 2 ways you can use in cutting this. Method 1 is that you cut it straight like the normal bobo, right? You cut straight, no fitting, no you're not giving it fitting, just the way you can already see that this one is a little bent into the waistline. You won't give it that fitting. You just do your normal straight, straight cut, and you know that it has a strap. So it is the strap that now gives it that shape, that you can see on the thumbnail. The style we are recreating. The way that style was cut is, I just take my, okay, let's do that. So I'm just going to add 2 inch, 2 inches is going to be the extra. I think 2 inches much. Let's make it 1 inch. Yes, then extra 1 inch for the allowance. For the waist, I'm also going to add in 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches. I will explain why. Then to the hips, I'm adding 2.5 inches, and then 2.5 inches as well. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. So, in as much as it is with a strap, and the strap is already going to give the waistline some form of fitting, I feel like just cutting it straight won't really have that natural curve like it's supposed to have. So again, you can also cut it straight, and if you put the strap, you get what you're looking for. But I feel like I can cut it straight and get what I'm looking for. Or how about I just give it a little shape, so that with the strap later on, when the owner ties it at the back, it just happens naturally. It just comes out without stress, without struggle. So this is what I'm going to be making use of. So this is 12 and a half. This is almost 12 and a half. Okay, make this 13. Okay, so this is I'm going to be cutting. So the what's it called? The pocket is going to be sitting around this part. Remember that from here we have our zip allowance and all. I say zip allowance, pocket allowance. So we're going to just trim out. This is irregular in shape. So I'm going to just trim it out. So I have 1.5. 1.5 for the zip allowance. Please follow me. 1.5 zip allowance. 1.5. So So this is the waistline, right? I'm going to come in by at least 3/7, or you can just divide. Yes, if you divide 1.5 into 2, that's the mark here, right? I'm going to blend it here and blend it into this one. This is what I'm going to cut. So what shape of neck are we using? First of all, I'm going to take the neck width. I'll be putting the tape on the front side of our fabric, right? And then I'll mark out 4 inches. Yes, I'll mark out 4 inches, then 1 inch, because the back has to be high neck. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the back and the front together, so just stay with me. Yeah. Okay, then I'll curve this. So I hope this thing is showing. Overheating has started again in just 20 minutes into the live. So the back and the front, at least the front. Okay, first of all, I'll have to mark the zip allowance. I like to come down from the shoulder depth by like 10 inches. It depends on what measurement of shoulder I'm using as well. So from there, I also take 7 inches. 7 inches is the length of the pocket, not like the length of the pocket, but where where your hand can cover for the pocket, you know, like the pocket width. If I don't know how else to put it, but I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to notch it. My phone is already doing overheating. I just hope it's not blurry now. But from the other screen I'm watching it from, it's not yet blurry. So this is a pocket length. Yeah. So I'm going to take out the back now. So now let's deal with the front. There are other ways I can do this, but okay, this is 4 inches. So I'm going to mark 4 inches all the way down. No, I'll make it 3 inches because I'm going to join it. 3 inches. I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. You see this line at the middle of the star that I'm making? The one that wants to use this one for. That's the space we are creating for it now. So I want to cut out the whole neck out to be like the width of the neck. I want to cut it out because that line, that pattern is the one that's replacing the neck and the the neck down. So, and you know we measured the width of the neck to 4. So I'm making it 3.5 because another extra is going to come. So when the standard one that I'm going to be adding to the body comes on it, the remaining half that is making it 4 inches is supposed to be the one that I would use to join that middle part now with the body, with like this side. So I'll mark 3 inches from the neckline down to the hemline. So I'll mark a straight line from there to 2.5. Yes. So all of this, I want to mark it and slash it away. That's what I want to do. Mark and slash away. This is the front again. So we're not going to throw this one away. You know that this one has a strap, just that I would want to use this for the strap. Okay, but let's just cut along. I'm going to cut this. We'll set this aside. We'll set the front aside as well. So we'll need length 43. I'm going to cut on 43. So I'll put the back and the front together for now. So when I put them together, I want to show you what it looks like. Yes, so this is the front, this is the back. Okay. So I'm going to cut I'm going to cut 6 inches in width. Yeah. So I'm going to fold these two together. And cut. Okay, you can just do it like this. I'm still trying to measure how much of it I want. How much of the one at the middle, whether too bold or it has to be like this one that we removed. It has to be like almost like this size. Now what I have here is 7 inches. Six inches. Six inches. 6 inches. So what I intend to do with this, let me just show you quickly before I'm going to join here, you know, to make it a single strap first of all. So I'm going to join it like this and like this. Let's assume I finished joining it, and now we have a single strap, right? So I will now have to measure how long I want the neck to be. First of all, I will mark first of all, what I will do is I'll turn it to the back. The back, the zip will not extend to this point, or the zip will have to cut across this one, but it will make sense. So the zip will stop around somewhere, like around, it won't get to this point, because you see how the style is, so it has to, this strap has to go like all through to the back. So I'm going to measure what I have after joining, say 1 inch. So I'm going to measure what we have. So 9.5 is what we have, right? So I'll measure 9.5. 9.5. I'll mark. No, 9.5 divided by 2. That's what I'll measure. Because this already is into 2. So we'll divide 9.5 by 2. That's this measurement here. Right? So for the front, I'll now determine how wide, rather how long do you want the neck to be, the V on the neck. Say, I would say maybe 7.5. Right? So what I'll do, I'll rule out the 7.5. Right. I will then look for the middle. I'll look for the middle of this, our strap, and then I will sew. I will end my stitch from here, or rather I'll begin it from here. So, like, just run a straight stitch in the middle. But just stay with me. I'm just trying to give us like an overview, just in case you are wondering, what is she doing? So she's trying to explain what she's doing. And then I have to just, maybe I'm saying it in a hurry because, again, I'm complaining so much about my phone. So when I run the stitch like this, I will now flip to the other side. Can you see? This is what we would now have. It's not equal, but yeah, I'm just doing like an illustration for now. Can you see what it looks like? Yeah. So I will now join this. I'll join this to the front, which will now make up for the little part of the front that we took out. So when I open this front, this one that we took out, when I open it, I hope I've not got something smaller. Okay, it will do. Yeah. So this is what we're going to have, right? So this one, I would add it to the body. I'll add it here. Then I'll cut the sleeves. I'm looking for the widest part because this is what I have to make magic with. Okay, here is wider. So it's a long length, so I don't want, and you know we're going to still use this at the edge of the sleeve. So I'm not going to cut like the whole length in one piece. So I'll cut, this is too wide. So I'll reduce it. Yeah. Make it a little more wider. Okay. Say I want length 16, 17. Length 17, length 17. Okay. What we are going to use is this one. I just realized that I don't have anyone from this fabric again. So this is what we're going to use. Oh, thank God. So the roll length now will be 24. Okay, that's fair enough. So I'll make this one 18 and a half. 18 and a half. Then come down by 4 and a half. I can feel a loop here. It's not aligned. As much. We have to make it shallow, so 3 inches. Sorry, this is not much. Because it's like trumpet, but I'm not going to entirely cut it like a trumpet. Yeah. This is okay. I'll extend the length. Three inches. The middle of 18 inches is 9. The sleeve is the sleeve circumference is 14. This is a 14 here. Add extra 1. I'm going to make it of 16. Then the seam allowance 1. So I'll link it to the middle this way, then straighten it up. I'm also still considering this because this is what I'm going to be using. So I would be joining this there. So I'll just divide it so that I can split it. I can use it for the two sleeves. Then this I'll use for the strap. I'll cut I'm going to use this as a strap on the waist line. This is a little trying to do. I can just measure and cut at once, but I'm lazy to measure all along. It's as easy as this, but then This is going to be for the strap. Okay, this is longer than. Alright, so for now we've been able to cut the short bubble, and you can see that it's as easy as you can think of. It is very easy. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to so the next thing we are going to be doing is to just in a moment we're going to start to join them together. Again, I'm going to be using my manual machine, and I'm going to be sewing without ironing. I don't advise you to do that, but if I want to, you know, sew and iron, is first of all it's going to take a longer time to finish the dress, and we really might not have that luxury of time to do all of that. So I'll just join them later off of the camera, but with the camera I'm going to sew it with the camera. So once we're done with the sewing later, once the camera is off, you know, I would now iron it and then show us what it looks like later on. Okay, so thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you so much for watching. It really means so much to me. Catch you later in a moment, you know, when we begin to join. See you later. Bye.